1, 2, 3. Don't F with me, the podcast. Yeah.
Don't f with me.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Don't F With Me, the podcast. I'm your host, Chubby Oddly.
And I'm also your host, OG Tega, in the building. Don't know. So today, guys, Chubby.
Yes.
Do they know who we have?
I don't think they do.
Are they ready for us today?
But I think we should tell them.
Should we remind them?
I think so.
Let's give them.
All right, then.
So today we have with us in the house, right? The head boy of the Sorosoke High School. Don't you know? The chief in charge of the Sweet Boy Association.
That is it.
The number one barista lawyer in the house.
Exactly.
Don't you know him? His name is Falz TheBahdGuy. Come on, give it to them.
Give them.
Okay.
Ooh. Chest pump.
That's right. That's okay.
Chest pump.
Not too much.
Not
too much.
So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for spending time.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. It's our pleasure.
Welcome to the podcast. So we want to talk about something today.
Something spicy.
It's a little bit personal. It's a little bit something that used to make people to be passionate.
Sensitive.
Understand?
Yes, that's right.
In this our context of Nigeria.
That's exactly right.
We're talking about religion.
Woo.
So I'm going to start with the energy that I mean to continue with.
Okay.
Falz,
Okay.
are you religious?
Ooh. Dum.
Honestly.
Honestly, yeah. This is don't F with me. So be honest.
Honestly.
Be honest about it.
Honestly, at the moment, I do not think I'm a religious person.
Okay.
But would you say you're a man of faith, though?
I think faith and religion are synonymous.
Would you say you are spiritual?
I think I would say that I'm more spiritual than anything else.
Okay.
I feed off energy.
Okay.
People's energy. I try to read energy as much as I can.
Okay.
And you have to be, I just believe that in this life, you have to be kind to others.
Agreed.
You have to not interfere with someone else's life and lifestyle.
Okay.
This thing that you
and
said.
way of living.
Not interfere.
Not interfere.
We're coming back to it.
Interfere.
Yeah, because I was going to touch on
Kind
that.
to others.
Yeah.
Be a good person. Do not harbor ill feelings.
Towards the next
Don't
person.
have bad faith. That is just life.
Okay.
Yes.
Just be plain as if you like fornicate, if you like tell lies, maybe don't tell lies too.
Don't tell lies,
Be an
though.
honest person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Try and be an honest person. You know, if you like fornicate, if you like do, you know,
That's on you.
that's your business.
All right.
Okay. So,
That's if we're not being religious.
yes. I'm going to press further.
Okay, wait. So I'm sorry, but do you are you saying like it's okay to sin, or like sin is sin regardless? What's that supposed to mean?
That's a very good question. So what I think is that I think it's more important. I think our interpretation of religion is very broad. And you can almost never really have a perfect
Definition of it.
handbook,
Okay.
perfect manual as to how to live your life. It's almost impossible. Everyone would interpret religion differently.
Yeah.
Everyone would interpret the same scripture that
Very
keeps you
differently.
going. Someone else would interpret it as, I was talking to someone the other day, I said, you don't have tattoo. Say, please, I want to go to heaven.
Okay.
They said it as a joke.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, he meant it though.
There was that association.
part of the Bible that says you must
This
not
is
tattoo,
not your body.
or you will not see the kingdom of God.
True.
That's
True.
it.
So, I mean, scriptures can almost always be interpreted in any
Different
way.
ways. Okay,
So, just be good
Okay.
and be kind.
let me press a bit further there. So you've said now that you don't consider yourself to be religious. Can you tell us a little bit about how that came to be? Were you raised in a religious home?
Of course.
Okay.
Almost all of us.
Oh yeah.
So there's a point at which there was a little bit of a switch hop.
You just imagine my mother, this child has this great.
Yeah, this place in his family. Polari.
Please, mommy, don't watch this. You know, so there was a point in your life, because the reason I asked this is because I feel like a lot of us have either experienced or will experience that shift and that point. Because, like you said, a lot of us grew up in religious homes.
Yeah.
I used to go to church every Sunday.
True.
I can't remember the last time
Same.
I went to. Hey,
Oh,
God, is my mommy watching?
say it with your chest.
Okay,
Don't
okay.
hide here.
I think that point of that switch is where you gain cognizance
Of what's going on.
Yeah, when you sort of recognize what's
Yes,
happening.
what's happening.
Most of us
Around
have
you.
gone into Christian homes.
Yeah.
Or Muslim homes.
Yeah.
you know,
It's religious
as the case
homes.
may be,
Yeah, yeah.
A religious home. And then, you know, we're told things. And those are the things we believe.
Yeah.
Up until we then are old enough to be aware of what's going on. And then we think, okay, this is Christianity. So there's something called Islam. There's something called there's something called this.
Hinduism.
Okay, what am I? I'm a
Exactly.
Christian. I have been a Christian. You know, is this really what I believe? You know,
Did I choose it or was
did
it
I choose it or
given
was
to
it?
me? Yeah.
Was it forced upon me?
Forced. Ooh.
Yeah,
You are
yeah,
getting me?
yeah.
So-
Okay.
And you know what is ironic about this?
Please go on.
I mean, I assume we'll still get into this part of the conversation.
Let's
we're going
do
everywhere.
it. Let's do it
What
already.
is ironic about this is that most of these religions that we're carrying on our head
I feel like something is coming over.
Break the table.
are European constructs.
Ooh,
If we're going to be honest with ourselves,
ooh.
they're European constructs.
That's right. So are you saying now that you're a bigger believer in Fela's culture, so to speak?
I'm a big believer in who we really are.
Internally,
Who
individually.
we really are as a people.
Okay.
As black people, as Africans.
Okay.
Okay.
Traditionally, who are you?
Okay.
Yes.
Where you from?
Ogun State.
Thank you. Your people in Ogun State, your forefathers, who did they used to worship?
It was not Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
But they still had like their
your
Oguns
forefathers,
and them.
they had their gods.
Yeah.
Where are those gods now? We refer to them as idols. Anybody that's worshiping, they say idol worshiper.
Yeah.
Oh, evil. Hey, don't come near.
That's
Yeah.
the thing. It's almost considered.
Oh, these
But-
are our
Yeah.
gods.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's not even considered as a separate religion sometimes. Some people even think that it has this evil.
Yeah,
dark-
they feel like this is darkness. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's crazy how we've been made to demonize our own. And that which is us. And that's why till now, we're still fighting. Because we don't know who we are. That's why there's a Black Lives Matter movement.
So what you're saying is now there's an identity crisis. Is
Okay.
that what
Thank
you're
you very
saying?
much.
Okay.
There's a big identity crisis. That's why, for example, there's the Black Lives Matter movement. That's why there's the protests going on here. Why? Because black lives or black people
Don't really.
do not even value black lives.
Woo.
So how will other people
Value
value
us.
you? Look at Africa. It is a clear picture of that. How can your own military men come and shoot you?
The people who are supposed to protect you.
Supposed to protect. How can I look at my brother in the eye and I'm a soldier
And I
meant to
shoot
protect-
you.
and I'm shooting him?
And then defend what you're doing.
I
Defend your
clearly
actions.
Don't have regard for his
Yeah.
life. What about the person that sent me?
Yeah.
Of course, that person doesn't have regard for his life.
True.
So
True.
how will another race regard us?
True.
So you're touching on something here because you mentioned the soldiers, and that's immediately making me think about people in positions of power, the authority
Yeah.
that we have, and the hold and the control that they have over us, and the way that they intimidate us. I want to ask you a question. I don't know if you're going to answer this question that I have for you.
Ah, no. You must.
I don't know if you're going to answer this question
What
that I
are you
have for
talking
you.
If I can, I'll answer it to the best of my ability.
Do you think, because Nigeria is a very religious nation, there are lots of very religious people in this nation.
True. True.
And whether or not everyone would agree that the Christianity that different people are practicing or the Islam is what they specifically believe, because obviously we know that there are different sects. Do you think how religious we are is part of the reason why it is easy to maybe intimidate
Or
us
oppress us.
or oppress us? Do you think that feeds into part of the problem?
I'll say yes, but I also give you a another dimension
Angle.
to it.
And
Okay.
okay, another
Okay.
angle.
I'll say yes.
Okay.
But I'll also say it is also a big advantage in terms of why we are still alive.
Yes.
Really.
Why we're
I
still
think I know
together.
where you're
I'll
going.
tell you
Okay.
why. It's yes for what you asked, in the sense that because hope is what is being sold.
Hope
in
is a
churches, in
hope.
mosques,
Hope
in-
is a very
as far as religion goes,
Yeah.
hope is what is being sold. So you hold on to that very tightly, you know, so it's easy to oppress that person because that person is holding on to that hope.
Exactly.
That person is being told in church to be patient
Because
regardless of their unemployment.
regardless of their situation, whatever.
Even though they should be employed. You know,
And it
but
is
there's
their
no
right
job.
to
And it's their
have
right
an
to
environment in which
thank you.
Like,
An
it's
environment
not-
that provides basic amenities.
Yeah, it's not a prayer point, but it's your right.
you're right.
But the synagogue or the church or the mosque, you know, whatever religious institution that you go to, will preach to you to be patient. So that's why I say yes to the first question. Now, the second part, which I said, is also why we're still together, because religion is kind of needed to prevent chaos. I mean, there's still
Okay,
chaos right now.
yes, but
To prevent anarchy.
Okay.
That's the word.
to prevent everybody from
Absolute
going
anarchy
loose.
means this
Everybody's
person just carry
killing.
knife, just come out, they kill each
Like,
other.
Yes.
no
To
Lord.
prevent anarchy.
So is that why the Europeans like kind of
I think
you know,
that is why it
came
was a
up
construct from the very beginning to keep us all together.
order.
Concepts like we are shaking some things.
shake it? We need to break
I
it.
don't understand.
Concepts like marriage
Oh,
are originally Christian concepts, and I think
Yeah,
it's just a
yeah,
thought.
yeah.
Everybody's free to argue.
Okay.
That
Or
the
monogamy
concept of
even.
marriage and monogamy was put there to ensure that men and women are well behaved. You know, so you
That we
don't
are not
just
gallivanting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's say, okay, man and
yeah.
woman, you be with this person for the rest of your life. You know, but at the end of the day, that's why I said.
so it's a valid construct.
Because it's tough to say religion is a problem,
Okay.
because religion definitely has huge advantages.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know, we can also see how it is a problem. So that's why it's a very tricky.
Yeah,
Topic.
I think the you say advantages, and you're also talking about there's the other side where it's not, you know, it's not the problematic side, but because I think for a lot of people, should I say it?
Say it now. Let it out, my
For a
dear.
lot of people, I think religion is a bit of a coping mechanism sometimes.
Okay.
In the sense that, and I don't think that is a negative thing in any way. In the sense that, it's for some people you need something to believe in that is bigger than yourself in
Okay.
order to get
Okay.
through.
Do you need that
That's why I
personally?
said that's what keeps everybody.
Yeah.
together.
Yes.
Do you think you need that
Me
personally?
that's a very deep question.
Yeah.
Just to get through, you know, when things are tough.
I feel like everybody finds themselves at some point, you know, when they're going through some shit, right? They feel like, Jesus help me, or Lord God save me. Even some people that feel like they are not religious or they don't go to church or they're not even Christian, they don't
Absolutely.
identify as being Christian, but they grew up in a Christian home. And then when they are going through shit, they find themselves saying, oh, blood of Jesus, oh, Lord, I need your help.
Or when
Do you
something good
understand?
happens, thank God.
Exactly, you know, they fall back into that, I need to believe something. I mean, it's at their core, at their
No, but
very
is
core.
are they falling back to I need to believe something, or are they falling back to a routine and a language that they were raised with?
It's not a routine. It's not a routine.
These are very strong points.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
I don't think it's a
consider-
routine because if it was a routine, I feel like it's not only going to show up in time of chaos. In time of chaos, like when the barrel is pointed at you, like when you're facing that problem, and you know that your life depends on
I
it.
understand
But do you
that
understand
question.
what-
I understand
I
that
understand what
question.
you're saying,
For
but-
example, I've been taught all my life that pray before you eat. Till today,
You still do that.
I still pray before I eat.
Oh,
Is
okay.
it because I genuinely believe that I'm blessing the food, or I just
It's
gotten
a
accustomed
habitual.
to it?
Is it habit?
It's a habitual thing, right?
You know,
That's
if
my question.
I'm going on a journey, you know, ever since when I was young, I always knew, it was a tradition
To pray before you.
the journey. So does it mean that I really believe it, or I'm just now accustomed to it?
I think I get where you're coming
part of
from.
your comfort zone.
Yeah.
If you don't do it, then you're uneasy.
Yeah.
Because this. See,
Thank you. So therefore,
You must.
it may not necessarily be a thing that is compulsory to be in existence for you to get by life, but it helps your psychological state, kind
Yes.
of.
Like your emotional well-being.
Yes.
Yeah, because it gives you something to.
Ergo coping mechanism.
Yeah.
It helps
It's
you
a
to sort
coping
of
mechanism,
It
right?
gives you something to go to.
And I think.
Okay, so in the sense of having something to go to, right? There's that, and we understand that we all need that to survive. How can we address the fact that Nigerians as a whole, right, or even Africans by extension, have this ideology that all hope must lie in this thing that they go to, right? So we know that it's not all hope is not on it. We know that some things are just like your basic right, it's not a prayer point. So how do you kind of come out of that,
Yes.
No problem.
that
I've hacked
mindset?
it. I've hacked it.
Oh, yeah, tell me.
I've hacked it.
Give us the solution.
No problem.
What's our problem?
Eh?
What's the problem?
A problem in Africa. Or let me speak for Nigeria.
Okay, let's
Before Kenyans come for you.
I'm telling you,
Before South Africans
before
come-
Ugandans come for you.
Our problem is overdue.
Okay, in what sense?
Wahala.
So, the problem is not the religion. The problem is
We carry the thing for
over
head.
fanaticism.
Become fanatics.
Yeah, that is the problem. Because it's not bad if you're a Christian, if you're a Muslim, whatever. But if you're so deep in that thing that now you're being taken advantage of, you know, then you have become someone.
I become a slave to that
something
system.
Close to a fanatic.
Yeah. I like that you touched on that because I wanted to make a point just before you said that around the fact that let's be absolutely, you know,
100%
let's
clear.
introduce clarity.
Yeah.
We're not saying that all religious people behave the same. We're not saying that all religious people say prayer point, no action.
True.
Okay? There are some, let us do it in a peaceful way. There might be some by any means necessary. Okay? And there's some people in the middle of we pray in the morning and when the evening comes, we protest. Pray, protest. You know? They're different, there's a spectrum.
That's why
Yeah, there's a spectrum.
Even within Christianity,
There's
different
still
types of
factions.
Christianity.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's
There's
still.
Christianity that I don't watch telly. There's Christianity
That don't wear
wears
slippers.
cap. But there's also Christianity that at least I do fornicate.
I do forget, but I'm still.
Sorry for
God knows my heart.
But I will beg for forgiveness on Sunday.
But if we are being true, though, the Bible lets us know that Jesus came to abolish those laws, right? It didn't necessarily say abolish, but he came to kind of summarize or compact the Ten Commandments, right? To compact the Ten Commandments into two basic commandments, which is what? Love God above yourself and love your fellow man, as you love yourself. So basically, it's just love. And if you,
Love, man.
If-
This is
yeah,
love,
if-
man.
Peace and love.
Love. Life is just about love,
as
man.
like, I don't think there should be
Peace
rules
inside
to it.
love.
True.
But the concept of God, okay, people have this concept of God is a man, right? So if you're saying, so wait, is that problematic for you?
Did I say anything?
No, because your facial expression is saying something else.
I don't know,
Speak up.
I know, because,
So
because I asked
a
that
lot of
question
people,
a lot,
a lot of people have the construct that God is a man. It's
Yes.
just this giant spirit living in the sky. I don't
I
know.
asked that
My
question
image
a lot.
of God has always been some giant like glowing spirits like in the sky. Like I'm like, he must be shining because they said you can't look him in the eye. Yeah.
it can't be. It's up.
Yeah, it must be in the
I
sky.
only look up to God.
Heaven is up. Heaven is up.
Yeah, so my construct has always been like that, and a lot of people have that same, ideology, and that if I can rely on God for a certain thing, right, then I need to follow His in the Old Testament. Take for example, in the Old Testament, right, God was strict according to how He's portrayed.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Say it.
Something you said just triggered something in my head.
Oof.
You know how messed up this whole construct is? God is associated with up. Satan is associated with down. Good is associated with white. Evil is associated with black.
Black. That's it.
We are being made to believe that our existence is down.
It's negative in some
negative.
way.
Oof. That's deep.
Is inbuilt now. Is in our spinal cord.
That we are lesser than.
Yeah, that we are lesser than Oyibo. Because we didn't realize on time.
And that's true.
That was the schooling.
And that's
And when you
true.
think of Jesus and angels in visual
You think white?
representation,
Because they've always had a white picture of Jesus. Every church you go.
even
always,
angels.
I'm even saying even angels. Just think about what color is angels. You think white. So white is associated with purity. Black is associated with evil.
It's a construct.
It's a construct.
It's in your mind.
It's a construct. And
It's
they were very deliberate about the way they arranged it. So let's think about that.
So they didn't just colonize us physically.
Oh.
They colonized
And some of us are still deciding to remain colonized.
till today.
If I said I'm not just going to shake the thing, I'm
I'm
going
going
to
to
break
destroy.
it, take the pieces.
We are
I'm going
deciding
to
throw it out
remove
of
one
the
leg.
to remain colonized.
Wow.
It is about time.
But let me say this, though. Let me say this. I think, as you said, extremism is the problem, right?
Yeah.
If religion, because I'm not religious, because I want us to be fair and somewhat balanced to the best of our ability, right? Nobody here seems to be religious, okay? So we have a certain perspective and opinion on the matter. To balance it out a bit, I think extremism is the problem. I think if a person is religious in such a way where it is helping them manage their lives individually how they choose to without harming, or as you said, I'm going to come back here, interfering with the way
someone's
anybody else
life.
is living their life. Yeah?
Exactly.
I don't think, I think to me personally, I don't see the issue there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think if that is the case, so be it. I think people...
It's the extent of your practice of that religion.
Yes.
So the issue is the fanaticism that...
And also when you start to impose on others, that is when I now have a problem.
There's one general mantra in life. I usually say this. Exercise your freedom however you want to,
but
so
don't
long
impose.
as the exercise of your freedom does not affect another man's exercise of his own freedom.
Oof.
And it's actually a principle in law.
In
law, it's something they teach you that everyone is free to do whatever.
Yeah,
as long as it doesn't interfere with the next
So it goes
man.
in line with that.
Okay.
You know, practice it, but when you start to say, or when you start to almost condemn another person, another man's belief.
I like that you touched on this because this draws me.
The big thing now.
Yeah, this draws me to something very special because exactly.
You're worshiping idols.
Exactly.
You are evil. That's my own worship there. Did I grow up for worshiping Jesus?
Not even that, but like some people now will not say, okay, in the concept of families now, some people will not say, okay, no, don't bring that Muslim boy here, or don't bring that Muslim girl to this house. You know?
That's a major one.
You know?
That's a major one.
They say, you cannot marry in this house, in this family. What are you doing?
Who told us that our way is the right way?
Exactly.
Who told you?
How do you know there is heaven? And then fire.
Some people have seen it too.
Some people have, they've died, you know? You know how many tapes I listened to as a child?
You see the iPhone just gave me. You see the iPhone, should I shift my chair?
Because some people have died and gone to heaven and God spoke to them and they came back.
There was a teacher in my secondary school that gave us that.
That he died and came back. Oh my God.
The full lowdown of like how heaven was.
He had a near-death experience.
No.
He died.
Death experience.
Yes. That's how they say they died. For like 6 hours. That's the normal.
So heaven had a conversation with Christ and all that.
Christ was just dapping him up. Christ was like, yeah, my G, alright, we will see now.
And at that time, everybody chopped it. Well, young children.
Yes, now.
Everybody was so scared.
And like, if you see the man, you would respect him. Say, you are spoken
Touched
to.
by God.
Everybody became born again for like next 1 week.
And people used to use that as a construct. In my school, my God, that religion was like heavy. Like, they resort to violence if you don't follow what they have asked you to do. Like, do you understand? Like, given that this is a Christian school, I don't feel like you should impose, a belief on somebody.
Same goes for extremists, terrorists. They say they claim that they live by a certain belief, and that everybody must subscribe to that belief, or else they will blow up, they will kill. They will do this. They will,
But I kind of
extremism.
Yes. Yeah. Can I play devil's advocate a little bit here? The irony, I'm playing devil's advocate whilst trying to justify or maybe support religion. All right. Is this necklace? Okay. All right. So the devil's advocate that I want to play here is because I had a certain moment in life, right, where I felt as though it's that switch you're talking about when you start to become like individually aware, not based on what you've been told or what you've been conditioned to believe, right? And there's this term that I like to use when I discuss this area of my life, critical thinking, right? Thinking objectively and really analyzing, right?
Yeah.
So I had a phase where I went through that and I started to realize that religion wasn't necessarily in line with certain bits of religion were not necessarily in line with my personal beliefs and the way that I felt like I wanted to live my life. Now, when I tell people this, they tend to try to go into my past a little bit, and they want to find out. They're like, no, it's not that.
Yeah,
it's
something else has made you.
So they go back until they find out that I went to a Catholic boarding school, where we were made to go to church every day. We were woken up at 4:30 a.m. every day to make mass at 6 o'clock, right? And then they look at that and then they say, it's because you had a bad experience around religion. If you were not forced to do those things, if you were not made to be this way, then you wouldn't have that
bias.
I don't have a bad experience around
I didn't have a bad
I
experience.
had a regular experience.
Yeah,
Said it
I had a
I'll
great
tell you
experience.
what the
even.
regular religious experiences. You're born into a Christian home.
You go to church every
You go to
Sunday.
church every Sunday.
Yeah.
You must wake up for morning devotion.
Yeah.
All those normal piece. My primary school was Catholic, but it wasn't like they didn't really. I mean, they kind of force you if you have to do it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't at that time. I didn't see it as being forced. I just know that
You have to
by
go
12
to school.
noon,
Yeah.
In class, we all stand up for the Angelus. There's a special prayer.
Okay.
We recite the Stations of the Cross. All those things. I just knew that as routine, but I didn't have any bad experience.
Serious about it, yeah.
And if you like, it can even be more exciting if you like go to church, you're a musician, you join the choir, do
Thank
exciting
you.
things,
Yeah.
play
I think I did
keyboard.
that at some point as well.
Yeah, you play the keyboard, play the
But I still
drums.
had the moment
Yeah,
to
it was
switch.
great.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that kind of invalidates that.
Yeah.
I
That's
don't
not
think-
bad.
I think that weighs on.
It's just a moment of realization, and if you are somebody that is also exposed to a certain extent,
Okay.
you will then start to, what you said, critically analyze. When you are only exposed to a certain belief and you don't really see anything different, then you don't bother questioning. But when you go outside,
True.
and you start to see different realms,
True.
different other things,
True.
different from what you've been taught.
Yeah.
True.
Then you're like, so this is my own. Who really says it's the way? If these people are succeeding so well in what they're doing,
Are you not
they're
saying
inventing
exactly?
and they're not
Progressing.
religious,
Exactly.
Yeah.
and they're flourishing, and they're not religious people. So how come God has promised me financial breakthrough, and I'm still waiting?
I'm still
These
waiting.
are the kind of questions that would naturally hit you.
Yeah.
That would naturally hit you as once you are exposed to anything else. So it doesn't necessarily mean you have to have had a bad experience.
Experience.
But that's special though, because you said that would naturally hit you.
They will naturally hit
I've come in contact with people that have been exposed, right?
It has not naturally.
And it has not even artificially hit them. Do you
It
understand?
also depends on the person, Shaggy.
Yeah.
It also depends on the person.
So are you saying like people just blatantly refuse to like progress?
Yes. Well, blatantly refuse to believe different. And you can't do much about that.
Oh, that's
Yes, I was
You
going to
can't-
say there's
you
not.
can't
Yeah,
do much about
it's an
that.
internal
Some people
thing.
just believe a certain thing, and with the way their mind is structured, they do not want to admit any
other
belief
thing.
or even question what
Yeah,
they believe.
yeah, true.
Yeah.
So there's just some people like that,
Yeah.
and there's nothing you can do about
Yeah.
that.
And when I was going through that as well, the other thing, one of my other things that I say is part of why I don't know if I can go back into that lane. It really stresses me out how there can be a religious establishment or a place of worship, right, where the so-called shepherd or the head is living lavishly.
Shake this table.
It stresses me out.
Break the table.
You're living lavishly. You may even have what some may refer to as what? A private jet.
Oh, my
Talk
God.
about it.
Hallelujah.
Talk it.
And the members of your congregation
I truck into
are
church.
trekking from far
Then
to
trekking.
put their last money inside the basket when they don't necessarily know how they're going to pay school fees when school resumes. And that's
And guess who owns the school?
Hey, the same head of the church.
okay.
Are we on this table, guys? Are we breaking this table?
You see what I'm saying? So, as we say, there are those extreme problematic areas,
Okay.
and that is what me I have problem
And
with.
that's why I said that religion, at the end of the day, it's okay. Religion is fine. Religion is needed. When you get to the point where you
Become
do
extreme.
not see the fact that you have tipped over to the side where you are now being taken advantage of. You are now a fanatic.
That's where there's a problem.
Then there is a problem.
Yeah.
Someone would say it's a lot of, like, it's undue justice to put the blame on the oppressed, to realize that they are being oppressed, right?
Yeah.
I actually agree with you on that.
Right?
I actually agree with you on that.
Yeah,
I agree with you on that.
so what would like be a progressive way to kind of, come out of this situation if I'm the one being oppressed in
The
this?
oppressor is the one to blame.
And to be held accountable.
Be held 100% accountable. The oppressor knows fully well what they're doing. Of course, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're taking advantage of people. So, I think the only solution, if that's what you're asking,
Yeah,
the solution to this would maybe be And it's tough.
It's very tough.
It's tough.
It's very tough.
Because it would involve government intervention.
They need to be checked,
Yeah,
is what you're
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
And balances
Now,
from that
with
level.
politics,
It's different.
very tricky.
Yeah.
Because politically, you cannot be almost seen to be clamping down too much on any religion. Because generally in law, there's freedom of religion. Everybody should be allowed to do what they want. So if you now seem to be maybe checking too much, it could be tricky.
Yes.
But what I don't think would be too tricky is to say that because religious institutions are meant to be charitable institutions.
I was going to, yes.
That is not being
That
enforced.
is, yes, yeah.
They're meant to be charitable. So if they enforce this, then I don't think it's too tricky. Basically, no church, mosque, or religious body should be transacting any form of business. So churches that own schools.
But can I come?
Church is charity.
Yeah, but can I come across and say, okay, it's my personal school, not for the church?
But it's not.
I can
because
make
it's
that
named-
argument.
It's named after the church.
It's named after the church.
It's named after the church.
I almost mentioned the name of it.
Let's just drink it.
Please.
Let's not.
Please, no.
Let's not. But you know, it's named after. Yeah. So I see what you're
No, but
saying.
we all know their names. There are many of them. We all know their
It's
names.
true. It's named after the church. So that goes without saying that it is connected.
That is definitely for the church.
Okay,
Yes.
but that means there's a way around it to say I name it a different name and I say this is my school.
Then we'll check the books.
Exactly.
We check
Where's the money
That's
going?
what auditing is about.
That's where's
what
the money going?
You check. That's what government should be doing in anywhere in the world.
Responsibility.
In the West, in any other country. in the
Yeah,
world.
you audit them.
never see this kind of thing. Why? Because they will be checked.
Yes.
They
Yes.
will be. But in Nigeria, there are no consequences for actions.
Yeah, that's true.
Do what you like.
Everything now falls down to the government at the end of the day.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
I have a belief, right? Let me say it's my own personal belief. I
Feel
think
free.
I don't think I will. If I have children, I know it's very, very controversial as a Nigerian man to say if I have. Right?
Oh, when I have children.
Yeah,
My
I
own
don't know why
is
people.
if I get married.
So
if
you
I
will have children. in Jesus' name.
You will get pregnant before the end of 2021.
Wow.
Amen.
Wow.
Hallelujah.
So I feel like I would want. I don't really believe in raising children to be religious.
Ooh.
I feel like
That's
I
the thing.
would just raise them to have whatever morals I think they should have.
Okay.
And
Finish first.
I like this energy that is bringing. Come on.
should I finish? Is it safe to
Finish.
Is it safe?
Finish, man.
You
No.
are making a strong point.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a very.
I feel like I would let them have. Nobody's saying they should just be wayward bastards, but let them be kind, let them be good, let them be honest, let them be whatever it is that a good member of society should be. And then when they're grown and are able to research and understand the tenets of religion and understand it from an independent, grown-up mind, then
They can
their
decide on
decision
their own.
I'll tell you it's tough.
Oh, before you start, wait, let's just let me clarify something.
Okay.
Are you going to be sure to make sure that you don't catch yourself teaching them to pray before they eat, pray before
That's
they
exactly
go out?
that's exactly what I'm talking about.
I'll tell you why it's tough. I'll tell you why it's tough.
Okay.
I'll tell you why it's tough. I'll tell you why it's tough.
Tell me.
I'll tell you why it's tough.
Ooh.
It's very simple.
Tell me.
They're children.
Yeah,
That's the simple answer. They're children.
it's very easy to.
I'm not gonna blame my children. I say my children, sorry. I'm not gonna blame my parents for bringing me up.
As a Christian,
Oh no, I don't blame them.
Because as a
what
child,
other choice do you have?
yeah, that and apart from that, as a child, you don't have enough know-how to critically analyze what is good or bad. So you need guidance.
But was the
I feel like
guidance?
this new age, we're trying to give a lot of
Freedom
as we
to,
should.
yeah.
You know, we're trying to give a lot of freedom to children, but we also have to largely guide because at that point they don't really have enough know-how.
But must the guidance be religious?
I'll tell you why it has to be. Okay. Because
Oh,
as a
you think
little
it has
child-
to be?
I'll tell you why it has
Okay,
kind of.
okay,
I
okay,
think so.
okay. This is interesting.
I'll
yeah.
tell you why as a little child, how do I analyze that I'm not supposed to take this cup from my partner's bag in school?
Don't steal.
Don't steal. Thank you. Yeah, just don't steal. I mean, I can
Yeah.
just say don't steal.
Yeah.
I guess that works. But as a little child,
Yes.
well, at least this is the belief of people that do it.
Yeah.
It instills a bit more. What's the word?
Fear.
Fear, if you like, fear of the contrary. If you like. It
yeah.
still a bit more authority in the child. If they believe
that something will
if
happen.
they do that thing, something will, like they will go to hellfire.
Yeah.
Okay, but I
It's a
feel
construct
like
at the end of the day.
they will go to hell.
As a child,
yeah.
they almost kind of. I mean, I think.
Yeah.
Should I say something?
Yeah.
Huh? Is that not manipulative?
I mean, children.
If that's the only reason you're doing it.
If it is manipulative,
Yeah.
then children, in almost every way,
Are manipulated. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And you will manipulate your
Why
kids.
you
There's
can't call it manipulation? It's because that's
They're
a
kids.
minor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, if you believe, so
On some
I don't know
level.
if I believe yet. I'm not sure.
No,
but
on some level
I
is-
understand
yeah.
why people that do it.
no,
That's
okay,
why I said-
yes, yeah. So
that's
if
why I said that.
people that
On some
do-
level is manipulation, on some level is guidance, like he's saying, right?
Yeah.
So you need to understand that line of I'm doing it for the right reasons.
Yes, okay. I think what I'm coming at is, if you are religious, then I understand it. It is your belief system, and that is how you actually think it's going to happen. So you say to the child, don't do this because hellfire is very hot, you know. But if you are not religious, but then you are using religion to instill or imbibe morals into a child, something about that is making me feel a bit
Yeah, no. Okay, so I'll give you an example, a practical example.
okay.
My dad. My dad isn't all that religious.
But he'll always like
My dad isn't
back
really
up your mom.
religious, to be honest. But my mom is a pastor.
Hey,
My mom is a pastor.
okay.
So, growing up, I would observe. My mom would say some things. My dad would maybe smile,
Yeah.
giggle,
Right.
as he obviously doesn't believe in that thing. But my dad would not oppose my
Her
mom
view.
telling us
Yeah.
that
Those things.
you must be a child of God. Do you get? So he doesn't. I feel like he didn't necessarily believe in that thing, but he saw the good
yeah.
that
Okay.
he would do with her instilling it.
So that's interesting because
I feel like
that is
Of course, I
interesting.
can't speak for him, but I feel like that.
Because I feel like there are a lot of people who are either religious or support religion or being religious, and they think that it's the only way to have for there to be morality, for there to be good behavior.
Not that it's the only way. It's definitely not the only
It's
way.
not the only way. I would only say it's important for a child. I would only agree if someone said that it's important for a child because they're minor and they can't form. I would kind of agree because as a young child, it's kind of difficult to know what is good, what is not good.
Yes.
And I would say it's the easy way out to me. Like what you want to do, what you plan on doing because you're not religious, saying that, okay, I want them to grow up with morals. Those morals will eventually lead you to start listing things out like the 10 Commandments did. Oh, you don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. And you find out that it's impossible for you to touch every single topic because a child is always exploring things and they're always in different spaces. So you might not
So it's
even,
like a guide,
do you understand?
really provides
You might not
like
be
a
able to,
template.
it's
you might
like
not
a
be able to
guidebook.
write the full book because
can
there's
never.
already a guide written,
So
which is
what would you
religion.
now
Can
say?
never.
What would you now
It's
say
impossible.
to people who say, it's either you're religious or you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, or you're not. You can't take some bits of the Bible to use.
No, of course you
Of course
can.
you can.
You can.
Because some people say, then what? Then are you religious?
What is that business?
Are you picking and choosing?
Okay, I'm not. I'm semi-religious.
Okay. Did I kill you? Did I steal your goat?
What's that? Okay, I'm semi-religious. What's your business? That's the problem. People don't mind their own business. I live my life how I want. If this person wants to pick, good. If this person wants to pick fornication as his own thing, may the Lord bless you.
May the Lord do. May the Lord bless you. He brought it up. He brought
It's
it
on
up.
your mind.
Because it's a sin, it's an easy sin.
Okay.
It's an easy sin to commit.
Are you
I'm
saying,
lying.
does that mean you're a regular fornicator? Is that what you say?
Personally,
Personally.
not so much.
Please, his mommy is watching this. In fact,
Well, man,
I know you people do.
don't worry, we'll block our IP.
me.
You know,
Please,
Eh?
I'm a child.
They are saying everybody is fucking nowadays. I don't know what that means. Really, personally.
So this is the spot, and I'm going to put you on it. I'm going to put you on the spot, Naji. Okay, honestly.
ask me when last did I fornicate?
No. Nothing of that nature. No. No.
Do you want to share? No, I'm just joking. So we've talked about religion from the context of sort of ourselves and our own personal beliefs. I want to shift a little bit into the context of relationships, right? Do you feel like you not being religious could be in a serious long-term relationship or even
With
a
a
marriage with
religious
someone who
person.
is quite religious?
Oof.
Could you?
Yeah.
And that may now require you to do some things that you probably wouldn't do on your own from a religious perspective.
We have established some ground rules
Yeah.
since the beginning of this conversation.
Yeah.
That there is no imposing anything on anyone.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you can't say that it will require me. That becomes a problem.
Yeah.
Don't require anything of me.
Okay.
So even if the person is like an
If you are
Idol
if the person
worshipper.
is religious, what we like we pointed out earlier, the problem is overdo.
Yeah,
If the person
imposing.
is religious, that's great. Just be religious. What people
But
do.
so you're saying
like
day or
idol
day?
worshiping.
Day or day.
Idol
be
worshiping.
house.
Can
Yeah.
I
You can be praying.
idol worshiping too? Like the person has calabash, everything. Yeah, red cloth.
Me, I can even worship idol. And I say idol because that's what they call it. But my dear, I'm not even joking. I'm doing my proper research now.
Yeah.
To find out more about my roots.
Okay.
To find out more about my roots. If I find that Ifa, which is the god my forefathers used to
It's
worship,
worship, yeah.
if I find out more about him, if I really learn about, why will I not start worshiping Ifa? Why not?
Because you know this.
Do you know how to say like before you eat? You know how to say if I come and eat it us. That
Nah, I
kind
don't
of
know how
thing.
they pray. But whoever the prayer is.
You know, it's funny. This religion or these like sort of traditional religious beliefs. You know, it's not just in Nigeria.
Of course not. No.
You know, they worship Yemaja in many places.
Yes, now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank
You know this.
In
These
Haiti.
are our gods.
in Haiti.
You know, they worship Yemaja in many places.
Cuba.
In South America, in
What?
a huge part of South America.
Yeah.
And these are our gods.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Our own
Yes,
gods.
they do.
They have museums and everything for these gods.
But guess who has become our own god now?
Yeah, so it's quite interesting. I think it's something where, and you said this earlier, like it is a construct.
Construct. And we have
It's
to
it's.
realize.
I don't know whether it was the intention, but from where I'm looking, it seems like it was designed to introduce some kind of order, and to.
Thank you very much.
That's how it's looking from
You
my
have
perspective.
perfectly explained it.
It was designed to introduce some kind of order.
Order in
Yes.
society and to prevent anarchy.
To prevent anarchy.
Yeah.
So, but the takeaways of what we're saying now is that it shouldn't be imposed on
Yes.
anybody.
Last, whatever you do, don't overdo.
Don't overdo
It can be
it.
any religion you want.
But don't overdo.
But when it becomes a problem is when you overdo. And overdo involves becoming a fanatic,
Becoming
An
or trying to
extremist.
impose on someone else.
Yeah.
So all those fall under overdo.
Yeah.
Just don't
Overdo. I
becoming
see.
an extreme, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, say you want to bomb one place because chill now.
Yeah. Do you
There are other
think?
people there now.
Do you think if there was more education and exposure, the level at which people are religious or the number of people who are religious would go down? Do you think that's inversely proportional?
If what?
If there was more education,
Education,
and more
okay.
exposure.
I personally don't think
I've thought
so.
about that. That's a very, very good question. Because I've thought about that before. But I feel like it might not.
It's not directly.
It might not.
Yeah.
I know why you asked that.
It's
but
not
I feel like
directly
it might not.
related. Yeah.
Because some people have just made up their mind that.
True. I saw a celebrity post a picture like on Christmas Day, Mohammed Salah. So he posted like him and his family at a Christmas tree and stuff like that, and wished everybody like happy holidays. And I saw not even like his people, Nigerians, commenting under the post like, you answer to your creator for this. You did it, like
For what?
Because he said happy Salah.
for happy Christmas.
Oh,
It's
Merry
like they're not supposed to celebrate birthdays in Islam.
Oh, yes, I've heard
Salah is Muslim, and so he's like, today you are Christian, today you are Muslim. This is why Nigerians insulting him under his picture. Like he just posted a happy holidays thing with his family, Christmas tree behind, presents and everything. Like it was a happy picture.
So he's not meant
So, because he's Muslim, he's not meant to
To say Merry
celebrate.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Can you see?
So it's not even education
It's not
now. So
frustrating.
people are just.
So frustrating. You're frustrating.
So
me.
people are just.
He's
busy-
now frustrated.
Interesting, like the levels of like the extent that people go to dictate to other people
How they should live their
lives.
How now?
I
You
felt.
just need to chill, man.
Take a chill pill.
Need to chill. If it's affecting you, if it's tempting you
Uh,
as a Muslim to do Christmas, then run it now. Run out now. Buy Christmas.
Buy pound now.
Right.
Buy pound,
Like,
killer.
nothing did there now.
Not this
Run
boy.
out. Why must they attack the man?
I don't understand. I don't understand.
It seems pretentious to me. It seems like
Yeah.
that person behind his keyboard is thinking, I want to run this.
I
Let me
swear,
attack him.
I
Why are
swear.
you doing this?
And like see the reactions of other people, like, will they follow up?
Yeah. How do you engage parents who are religious as someone who isn't religious? If they're saying, you know,
You cannot argue with parents. Who are you?
For real?
how do you engage them?
If I want to, like, if I have a girl now that I
Yeah.
want to marry,
And she's Muslim.
And she's
she introduced
Muslim.
me to her parents. No, let's say she's even Christian. Let's even use the one that is easier.
No, we're still coming back to this one, but
Yeah,
this
right.
one.
Let's use the one that is easier for me.
Yeah.
And her parents are Christian. And she introduces me to her parents. Do you think I'm going to go and tell them that I'm not religious?
Well, so you're going to go there with sign of the cross.
They will not give me.
You're going to go there with sign
So
of the
you're
cross.
going to be
I will
hypocritical.
not overdo it.
Ah.
I will tell them that I'm a deacon in church. Because I can bring about problems. They can ask
They
me,
say,
okay,
which church?
What is in Roman Street?
I said,
They say what's in Roman Street. If I was to say which version, is it King James or
because
God so loved the world that he gave his only.
is it me? I'm just a preacher of love. I'm not really.
So, but what I'm trying to say is that there's some levels of belief that you cannot even attempt to try and change their minds or anything. Just if you have to, let them know what you believe and just leave them to what they.
Yeah.
Because this conversation you can never finish it. You start with the parents.
Yeah.
You can never finish this one. It's not possible.
At all.
They are set in stone.
So don't go to that extent. If you want to marry their daughter, just
Just- yes, yes,
be
yes.
Christian. Just be Christian.
Go to church like 2 Sundays.
So if let's flip it now. If the girl was Muslim,
Yes.
Girl-
No, if the girl was Muslim and you're taking her home to your parents, your religious
No,
parents.
wait, let him answer the first one. You answer both. Like you go to the house and then she comes to your house. How would that work out?
No, I know what is if he goes to the
Are you
house.
saying we now
He knows how he will manage it, is it not?
No,
he
no.
knows what he
If
will
I go
do.
to their
No, if your house, yeah, I know you can manage it. If their house, you now here.
if I go to their house, I don't know what's
Salam alaikum. What would you do? They will catch you because you can't.
Because if you saw me, so that one I
Yeah.
have to come up from.
Clean.
I have to be some sort of religion.
Yeah.
Because if you say I'm not religious, that means
Exactly. They are the devil to
you're
them.
not religious. You know how parents do.
Is that how they think? Do they think it's easier if you're not
No,
religious?
no, no.
Then maybe it's
No.
easier to switch you from where you are
You are the devil.
That's another angle.
to their religion. But if you have already been raised,
If you're not religious, they think you're the devil.
Eh.
They
Yeah.
assume everybody is
Yeah.
has a religion.
Has a
Oh.
religion.
So at that point, I have to say that I'm Christian.
oh, because you're not religious, then you're a
But
non-believer.
I will now
Yeah.
teach them that one world, one family,
One union,
we're all
you know.
together.
Yeah.
The same
Start drawing the
God.
parallels between Bible and Quran.
Jesus is Muhammad.
You know.
Jesus is not Muhammad.
Jesus and Muhammad are friends and that kind of thing. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I say they're all the same. Yeah. That's the
Would it be-
already cost me.
Would it
Jesus is not Muhammad.
Jesus Isa? Would it be easier would that conversation be easier in your own home if you were to take the Muslim girl to your home?
I think it will also be an equally tough conversation
Because of your mom?
yeah, I'm married Muslim. You know how it is.
Yeah.
There's religious bias, religious,
Yeah.
other religions look down on other. Man, it's just
He's getting frustrated again.
so frustrating.
It's frustrating, to be honest. To be
It's
honest.
back to what we say.
I
what
feel
we
your
said
pain.
earlier,
Don't
trying to
overdo.
dictate for other people how they should live their life.
That is-
You're overdoing it.
Yeah.
Have we like touched a lot of things today?
We've touched quite
Yeah?
a few things.
We've touched bases.
We have touched quite a few. We have
I moved
touched-
around.
well,
That's right.
We've snaked in and snaked out. We touched a number.
But
of
this was
things.
fun. This was an
This
exciting
alright.
topic.
Yeah,
I liked it.
I enjoyed
Yeah.
it. I enjoyed it. Do you feel like
So are you religious?
I'm not religious?
Are you religious?
I'm not religious.
I'm not religious.
At some point, I thought I wasn't Christian. I thought like I wasn't, but like,
But you were brought up religious.
yeah, I
Yes.
did.
Will you marry someone that is religious?
I don't think so.
I don't care. I don't
I
care.
don't think so.
You are looking for another religion.
I don't think
You are
so.
looking for another demon.
You know when two Yoruba demons come together,
As in, they
everything can
become angel of the devil.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't. Let me tell you why I'm not sure I would marry someone who's religious, right?
Mm.
I think maybe it's not fair to say not someone who's religious. I think as long as whatever you do or whatever you are, as long as you are open-minded and do not impose, That is it for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
That's why I say don't overdo.
Don't overdo
because
it.
you know the thing I hear about religion and marriage. I hear that sometimes it can be quite okay in the beginning. Everybody's open-minded and friendly in the beginning. Everybody doesn't really
Till
care.
shit starts
in the
to hit the
beginning.
fan.
Until shit starts to hit the fan, or children are introduced.
True.
Then all of a sudden is
Bam.
who is taking them? Are you taking them to church? Or am I taking them to mosque? Or if I'm staying at home, why are you people going to church? And that's when like the practicalities now start to set in. So I want to avoid.
But it's necessary for you to dictate that before you even.
I'm
go
telling you,
into
some
anything
people
serious.
dictate it before. And she entered that house as
And
Sandra,
switched
and she's
up.
going to be Aisha in 5 years. I've seen it happen.
She switched up.
I've seen it happen.
She's-
I think
System.
why it was easier for it to flourish in my household, for the system to work in my household, is because my dad wasn't firmly another religion. He was just like, oh,
Yeah.
no, I'm not necessarily Christian, but I'm not another
Opposed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, with that disposition, he's not necessarily opposing what she's doing. He's just saying, you can go with me, I'm not going. You get? So that still works fine if one party is not necessarily religious and another other party is religious. That can still work. But if one party is one religion and another party is another
This is
religion,
it. Tug of
there
war.
can be dispute.
They can just built, really.
So you would say that you're spiritual.
Yeah, I would say that I'm spiritual. I try to feed off energy. Try to feed off energy. Like I read your vibe, I read your spirit. I try and sense your spirit. See if you have a good spirit or not. You know, I know if we should be relating or not.
So what do you think about people who are atheists?
So it is there is no God.
There is no God.
Yeah, there's
and
no God.
You cannot convince me that
That
because there's
there's-
being atheist and then there's being agnostic, I believe.
Yeah,
and I think
agnostic is
atheist is that
different.
there is no God. You can't convince me. It is what it is.
What is agnostic?
Agnostic is
Just
I'm
be-
not
just be neutral.
religious.
But I believe there's something bigger that
I believe there
controls.
could be something bigger.
That
Is
controls.
that you? Is that more you?
No, me sometimes I used to bounce.
Hey,
Different things used to
gay.
happen.
I think that might be more.
It's a
me.
journey.
Yeah.
That might be more.
Yeah.
me.
You feel like there's
Yeah.
something
I
bigger.
feel like there is something bigger than us.
Not necessarily.
I feel like the universe
It's not running on science.
is not just operating.
It's not running
It's
on
not.
physics.
It's not
I
on.
feel like the universe, there's a higher power.
And is that
Because I get like almost like spiritual feelings.
vibes and feelings?
So let's say I'm going somewhere now, and I'm trying to decide whether to take this thing with me. You know, like something tells me inside,
Yeah, don't do that.
don't do this.
So is that spiritual feelings or is that intuition? Because somewhere in your subconscious you're calculating certain
Somebody
things.
said that's science.
But there are times where I decide not to do it, then I realize I should have done it.
So your intuition was
So
wrong.
I should have listened
Yeah.
to my intuition.
No, because
But that intuition may not just be intuition; it can be spirituation.
that was it.
Spirituation.
You put a drop of spirit inside the
Spirit
cup of
inside the
intuition.
intuition.
What you call intuition is spirituation.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I get you.
So it's your spirit conversing with you. Yeah, and also when you meet someone, you just get a vibe. You just feel off. It's spirituation. My intuition tells me that's not good. Your spirit just doesn't. Spirit are not going together.
But then, so there are things inside you. There are non-verbal things that you're picking up on. There's the way the person may look, the way they dress, the way they spoke to you, the way they
Their
looked
body
at you,
language,
their body
you
language.
know.
There are all those things that you're picking up that I think feed into your perception of that person and your understanding of who they are. Because what I'm trying to understand is this, right? Even when someone is agnostic, obviously there are people who are agnostic and they just are that because that's what they believe. But I think there sometimes a section of people who it's hard to let go of the religion. It's hard to let go of the religion. Your brain is so programmed to believe in something that even when there are bits of it you can question, you can't completely escape and abandon. Do you think that factors into it as well?
Sorry, say that last part.
So like, is being agnostic sometimes a result of you've been religious for so long, or you've been so conditioned to be religious that it's difficult to just abandon it all?
I see what you mean.
So there is a bit of you that is still holding on.
You have a very strong point.
I think to an extent,
And
yeah.
sometimes you might not be self-aware.
Yeah, to an
that
extent,
is-
it is, but it's not always directly
Yeah,
related.
it's not always.
Yeah, it's
but I
not
feel
always
like in some
directly
parts
related.
sometimes
Yeah.
that is that.
You have really critically analyzed this issue.
Yeah,
Critical
yeah.
analysis is one of my.
Like,
This is
conversations.
another dimension. Yeah, I get what you mean, Sha. But at the end of the day, like we were saying earlier on, you almost kind of have to believe something.
In something.
What
Kind of.
what of the atheists that don't believe in shit? They're like, no God, nothing. We're just operating on vibes and inshallah.
So what's life? So what is life
Then life is
to them?
to
Clockwork.
just for living, for enjoyment, for whatever it is that you want, for friends, for family, for love.
What gives them good luck? They don't even believe in good luck.
Good luck is hard work and chance sometimes.
Yeah. It's just
No,
left
situations that
it's
is
left
just
to chance, yeah.
Situation there is just chance.
Yeah, then it's
what
just
do they
chance.
look to?
Nothing.
Nothing.
It's
They look to
probability.
themselves.
You toss a coin and based on
Just
the
close
Yeah.
your eye and wait for
They
it.
based
look
on gravity
they look to
and the
themselves
wind.
like
Yeah.
I mean, like I said,
each man to his
to
own.
each man his own last.
That's
but
right.
Yeah.
It's tough to have one formula that works for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. No, yeah, that makes sense. So I feel like, yeah, we have covered a few things.
I've gone full
This has been
circle.
great. I feel like I'm going to go and do more critical thinking after
Ah,
this.
definitely. I think everybody
Don't
should.
trust it.
I feel like I'm going to go and do
Everybody
more critical
should.
thinking after
Everybody
this.
should.
I
Yeah.
have.
I think you should leave it here.
I
If not, your head will scatter.
head is
Yeah,
just-
yeah, because there's some
I
things you
mean-
can't just comprehend.
Yeah.
They're just beyond you. And like your human mind.
In fact, we have established that religion needs to be there.
Yeah.
Everybody must believe in something.
Because it's anarchy if not.
Whether, in fact, even if you're an atheist, that is what you believe in.
You believe in not believing.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And everybody must have a belief. And you are in no position to impose on the next person.
Absolutely.
So let everybody just do what they like.
That's it.
Lessons
The only
learned.
thing we should do is, where we can, like I said earlier on, society, government should control where some people are being taken advantage
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
Of course,
To protect people.
extremism should not be allowed. Let's have government say we do not negotiate with
With
Terrorists,
terrorists.
come on.
Dun
Agree with
dun.
them. Said.
Yeah. So on that note, it's been a major vibe today. It's been a
It
major
has.
vibe. Have you enjoyed yourself?
Oh man, it's been so nice, it's been so lovely.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
for having me. I
Yeah.
really appreciate it.
Thank you.
for the
Thank you
snacks.
for being here.
You're welcome.
Thank
You haven't
you for
touched the
being
biscuit though, but
I'm going for you now. I just want to pretend because of camera.
I've had fun. Chubby, have you had
as
fun
well.
today?
Yeah, this has been an interesting conversation.
Yeah, take us out. Take us out.
Cool. So thank you everyone for watching, for listening, for being part of this. I know that some people were making comments as we were saying one or two things. So just share those comments with us.
Let's know.
Type it down,
Let's
send
know.
it through, and let's know what you think. Let's know how you feel about what we've discussed. And I guess we'll see you on the next episode. So until next time.
Peace.
Peace out. Thank you very much.
Don't f with me.
You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Don't F With Me Pod.
Don't hug the couch, my friend.
No, for
Move
you.
over.
Okay.
So we're also on all major podcast platforms. So find us there, and you can see the links to our YouTube. So subscribe, right?
Yeah.
Alright.
Should we tell them where to find us individually as well? Because me, I don't want to be with you all the time, you understand?
yeah.
I want my own thing. All right. So if you're looking for me, you can find me on Instagram or Twitter at chubby_oddly.
Okay, if you're looking for me, you can find me on Instagram at og.tega. So that's og.tega, and Twitter as the OG Tega. Boom.
Are we spelling? Oh, chubby as in chubby, and then _ODDLY.
Why do you have to copy me
I just want
all
people
the
to know that I
time?
can spell
Like,
too.
why do you have to
I
be
just
like
want them
me,
to know that
though?
I can spell.
Why do you really have to be like me all the time?
All right, I need to get out of
I
here.
hate you.
Don't f with me.